Hi everybody, I'm starting a new unit with you about plants. I thought that is a perfect thing to be doing this time of year since the weather's getting nicer, you're starting to notice things growing, and we like to spend some time out in our school garden. We all know that living things need food, water, and air to survive. You and I are living things. We need food, we need water, and we definitely need to be able to breathe. The same goes for plants. Dogs, cats, birds, people, parents, flowers, trees, and bushes, they all need things in order to stay alive. In this unit, we are going to be talking about the things that plants need in order to stay alive. We are going to be hearing some stories involving plants. We're going to be talking about how plants and humans interact, and we're going to be talking about maybe ways to take care of plants. There are many different kinds of people, animals, and plants that live in our world. You probably recognize many of the living things in this picture. In some ways, people, animals, and plants are alike. They all are alive. They need food, water, and air to grow and stay alive. But plants, people, and animals are different in many other ways. Unlike animals and people, plants do not make sounds, and they cannot move from one place to another. Plants need 4 basic things in order to live and grow: food, water, air, and light. If a plant has these things, then it can survive, even in a little crack in the sidewalk. The yellow flowering plant in this picture is called a dandelion. A few weeks ago, a tiny dandelion seed floated through the air and landed in this crack, where there was just enough soil for it to begin to grow. This dandelion gets plenty of the sun here in the sidewalk and also gets plenty of air, water, and nutrients. This shady forest is home to many different types of plants, from the tallest tree to the tiniest flower. A forest is a large area of land where many trees grow closer together. Animals that live in the forest depend on these plants for food and for their homes. This forest is just one environment or a place where things live of many on this earth. This is another type of forest. There are some major differences between the colors and shapes of the leaves on these trees and the leaves on the trees in the last picture. In a later lesson, you will learn about 2 types of trees. This environment looks very different from the forests we saw in the last images. All plants need food, water, air, and light, but not every place in the world has exactly the same amount of food, water, air, or light. This is a desert, where it is hot and dry all year round. Plants that grow here, such as this cactus, have adapted to a life in sandy soil with very little rainfall beneath the blazing hot sun. That tough little dandelion and the trees you saw earlier would wither and die if you tried to plant them here. And the cactus in this desert would not be able to live in either the sidewalk crack or the forest. Different types of plants grow in different environments or places. This picture shows an underwater environment. Fish may be the first things that come to mind when you think about underwater life, but there are plants down there too. Underwater plants need the same things other plants need, including food, water, air, and light. This environment is not a forest, not a desert, and definitely not underwater. This is a city park, made when some people gathered seeds and planted them in the ground. People plant grass seeds on lawns and in parks so there are nice places to play and relax. People plant flowers and trees to make the world a prettier place. Some plants can be grown indoors. Maybe you even have one in your classroom. If so, someone needs to water it from time to time so it stays healthy and green. All plants have 4 basic needs: food, water, air, and light, but not all plants can grow in all the same places on Earth. A dandelion cannot grow in the desert, and a corn plant cannot grow underwater. Over the next several days, you will learn all about different types of plants and plant parts, and you will understand why plants are so important to animals and people. So thinking about a house plant and a cactus, how are these plants similar and how are they different? Well, they both need the same 4 things to live: food, water, air, and light. They both seem to be green, but they're different because they need a different amount of things. So a cactus doesn't really need a lot of water. They live in the desert. It barely rains in the desert, whereas something like this, a houseplant, might need to be watered every day. They also survive in different temperatures. A desert cactus can be totally fine in super, super hot weather, but a houseplant might not survive in that type of weather. And also, maybe this one is okay if it gets cold at night, but I don't know if a cactus will really be happy if it gets too cold. When you think about that word plant, I can think of 3 meanings for that one word plant. A plant is a flower, a tree, a cactus, a leafy house plant. A plant is the actual plant that grows. Plant also means to do something. Plant means to plant a seed in the ground, or maybe take this plant and plant it in the ground outside. So plant also means to do something. There's also a third meaning to the word plant. Have you ever heard of a building called a plant? When you look at this picture, it kind of looks like a factory. Well, plant is kind of like a factory. At a plant, you might see things like this being made. You might see a bunch of things being recycled, things being washed, car parts being made, or even a place that cracks eggs. I wonder what their plan is with all those eggs. Wow, I think I've said the word plant like 500 times today. All right, well, that is the end of this video today. So thank you for listening and learning with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.